Google Harpoon Pest Solutions. When it comes to bugs, just say no. Call 215-588-2180.
Welcome to another episode of the Harpoon Pest Solutions podcast. Hi, I'm Mike Stewart, and here today I'm with pest expert Quincy Jones, who's going to be talking to us about the 5 reasons you should call a professional exterminator for mice. Hey, Quincy, are you here?
I'm here.
Well, tell me the 5 reasons why you should call a professional exterminator for mice in your home.
Absolutely. All right. So there are 5 reasons why any person should want to consult with an exterminator for their house, especially for mice. And the number 5 reason, I'll start with number 5, is that when you're cleaning through your house, whether it's spring cleaning or just taking items out of your house, if you find a nesting material that's been abandoned, sometimes, you'll find as you're cleaning out the closet or maybe the garage in the corner, you'll see shredded up paper or pieces of fabric that look like they have been torn apart in little pieces. This is evidence that there's been an abandoned nest that the mice were probably living in at some point in time. So you'll find shredded up material. That's a clear sign that you've had rodent activity in your house. And this would be a definite reason you might want to call out an exterminator. The number 4 reason to call an exterminator is if you have any experience with strong odors, strong obnoxious odors, sometimes maybe not throughout the house, but as you walk through your home, if you pass an area, maybe it's a closet, maybe it's a place in the kitchen where the air doesn't seem to be quite as fresh. It's that urine-y type of obnoxious odor. If you start to look, you may find that you have an issue with rodents. A lot of times when people report odors that, are out of place and they start looking, they start to find nesting materials as well, shredded up paper and things of that sort. So that's definitely strong odor is definitely a reason to call out an exterminator. Number 3 is if you find droppings, any type of rodent droppings that you find when you come into the kitchen or in your house. If you see rodent droppings on the stove, on the countertop, around the appliances, this is definite sign that you have an issue with rodents, and you might want to call out a professional to start looking and moving some things around to see if you can find holes or entry points where those mice are coming in. Number 2 is if your DIY efforts have failed. If all of your do-it-yourself, methods have failed, if you've been trying traps and monitors and buying stuff from Home Depot or wherever it is, and from the local hardware store, and you've been trying these things and they're not working out, it's time to call in a professional at that point if, what you've been doing is just not working. And the number 1 reason to call it an exterminator is if you are seeing live mice. If you actually see mice shooting across your floor, if they're coming out to run across the floor and play as you're sitting there watching television, or if you come in the kitchen, turn the lights on, you see mice racing from the refrigerator to under the stove, or you hear your spouse screaming in the next room because they're seeing mice, this is definitely time to call in a professional. And especially if you're seeing mice sightings during the day. By nature, they're nocturnal animals. They typically come out as the sun is going down and in the evening. But if you're seeing them during the day, that's definitely cause for alarm, and you would want to get that taken care of as soon as possible. So those are the top 5 reasons to call out an exterminator for mice if you're seeing any of those things.
Well, thank you, Quincy. That's great tips that everybody needs to know. More importantly, if anybody in the Philadelphia or Lansdown, Pennsylvania area has trouble with mice, Harpoon Pest Solutions is the place to call. You can check out all the information on how to get in touch with them at harpoonpestsolutions.com. And, we know that because of the changes in the world right now, especially with the lockdowns and the restaurants not having as much food for the rodents to eat, these rodents, mice, and all types of rodents are coming to people's homes, and that's all the more reason that, I don't think this is something that you can't try to take on yourself. You need to hire a professional, and of course, Harpoon Pest Solutions, Quincy and Vernon, they are the professionals that can help you solve your problem. So be sure, when you want to find out more ways of having a pest-free home in your area of Philadelphia or Lansdown, you tell folks about the Harpoon Pest Solutions podcast, and be sure to tune us in iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, or anywhere that you like to get your podcast. And these helpful tips could make a difference in having a pest-free home. And we look forward to the next episode of the Harpoon Pest Solutions podcast.
Google Harpoon Pest Solutions. When it comes to bugs, just say no. Call 215-588